No, I was gonna say, Jennifer, if you want to start recording, great.
Mhm.
Excellent. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Just want to call to order the meeting of the Social Equity Council's Governance Committee. Just quick roll call. Paul Robertson. Avery Gaddis.
Here.
Michael Jefferson. I know he's present on the call.
Hello.
Great. And myself, Ajala Name. So we've got 3 or 4, so we've got quorum. First item on the agenda is approval of the December 20th meeting minutes.
Move to approve.
I'll second it. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion passes. Great. Next item on the agenda is a review of the attendance policy. So at the end of last year's legislative session, there was language put into the attendance policy that said if members miss either 3 consecutive meetings or 50% of meetings within a calendar year, they are deemed to have resigned from the council. There are some concerns on that because it does not specify if those meetings are all meetings, if that includes special meetings and committee meetings as well. And there's concern that in any given week, as we did a couple of weeks ago, you can have multiple committee and council meetings happen. And if someone's on vacation for a week and they miss those, it would be unfair to deem them as automatically resigned just because they were unavailable for a week. So based on that, I'd like to make a recommendation that Attorney Matravy and Christina Diamond work on figuring out if there is a way for us to amend that language in this legislative session to be specific towards having 3 consecutive meetings or 50% of regularly scheduled council meetings. So that would not include special meetings that are scheduled based on need, and it would not include committee meetings. So Attorney Matravy and Christina, if you guys are able to kind of speak with the right people on that and get back to us on what process looks like, that would be great.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We will do that.
Councilman Gaddis.
Yes, and thank you, Madam Chairwoman. And Attorney Matravy, I think that just one simple word is it will fix this, and that's excused versus unexcused. So that way we could all come to a consensus what's a excused versus unexcused absence, and I think that fixes a lot of
Yes.
things.
It-
Thank you.
Through you, Madam Chair, I agree with Councilmember Gaddis that we'll make a proposal to this organization to review to make this rule a little more flexible to the organization, because it's pointless if members can really take advantage of being a member and while taking care of other responsibilities at the same time.
Great. Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is committee restructure. So I know Councilman Robertson is not on the call. He is calling me, so I'm wondering if he doesn't have this on his calendar. He does not have it on his calendar.
I'll bring him in, Madam Chair.
Please do. Thank you so much. And I'm not sure how that happened, but he is correct. I don't see his name on this, which is unfortunate. It looks like Kyle Alexandra is on for some reason and not him. So while he is joining, I'll give a high level of our thoughts around the committee restructuring. Currently, we have about 6 or 7 active committees. So that includes the committees that we started the council off with, which is finance, governance, outreach, and policy. And then we created ad hoc committees for the accelerator and reinvestment. I believe those are all the ones that we have. Also like to acknowledge that Councilmember Robertson has joined. Thank you so much for joining us.
Apologies, I was on another call. Thanks.
No problem. So we're talking about committee restructuring. And so there's a lot of committees, and there is not as many of us that are active members of the council participating. And so the one of the recommendations that I believe Councilmember Robertson and Executive Director Clay has talked about and had made was to combine a couple of the committees. So in doing so, the structure would have us keep Finance Committee as it is, keep the Outreach Committee as it is, combine Policy and Governance Committees because there's so much overlap in the policies we're establishing and how they relate to governance and overlap in membership. And then combine, oh, I forgot the Workforce Development Committee, combine the Outreach and Workforce Development Committee because right now I believe Workforce Development doesn't have more than 2 members. And it seems like a lot of the work that will need to happen there will be in relation to how we're thinking about reinvestment as well. So that would bring us down, governance and policy would merge those, one of those meetings would continue. My recommendation would be to keep the policy committee chair, Councilmember Shirley as the chair of the newly found committee, and then merge the reinvestment and workforce, and I would continue chairing that one, so I wouldn't be responsible for governance anymore. Would definitely help me a lot, but I think overall it'll lessen the amount of meetings we have on our calendars for social equity council related activities. Councilmember Gaddis.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I think that is a great idea, and I'm 100% in support of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Other questions or discussions on that?
Madam Chairwoman, I move the recommendation you put forth. I move that we submit it to the full council for consideration, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Discussion on that point.
I agree.
Thank you, Councilman Jefferson. If no further discussion, I'll call the motion for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? So following up this meeting, I'll just kind of spell that out in a written document to this this committee, and then we can bring it to the agenda for the next full council meeting and put that into play. Excellent. The next agenda item was the fiscal year 24 goals discussion for the with the executive director for the full count for the full office of the Social Equity Council. Unfortunately, she is out sick, and I don't believe it makes sense for us to have that discussion without her present. So I will request that she brings those back up at the next meeting of maybe still this committee or most likely a merger of the Policy and Governance Committee. Excellent. No questions on that. We've got our recommendation to the full council. Any additional items for the good of the order?
Madam Chairwoman, thank you and Paul and Attorney Matrivi and Councilman Jefferson for all your leadership. I know it's not easy. I know we have strong personalities, but I personally enjoy working with all of you, and I learned so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Appreciate all of
Councilman
your
Gaddis.
engagement and
Thank you,
honesty
Councilman.
in this process.
Thank you, Councilmember Gaddis.
If no additional items, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Great, thank you.